Do you want to automate your work but don't have the time to actually do it? Well, stick around because I'm going to show you how to automate Excel in just seconds. How are we going to do that? We're going to use ChatGPT to write automation code for us. And it's all a lot easier than it sounds. While you're watching, make sure to scroll down to the description and click that link to join our newsletter. I'll actually send you my free guide for 25 ways that you can use Excel in finance or accounting, and this is just one of those ways. So let's get started. First of all, if you haven't heard of it, what is a macro? Macros are small scripts that can automate tasks in Excel using a programming language called Visual Basic. Macros are small scripts that automate tasks in Excel. They can do essentially anything in Excel that you could do by clicking a button or inputting a short key, except it will do it automated, just like magic. Here's some of the benefits of macros. You can save time, you can reduce errors, and most importantly, you can improve efficiency because you can do all of the same work in a fraction of the time. Plus, you don't have to physically do it. Push a button and it goes. So I'm going to give you a step-by-step guide to get started using ChatGPT to write macros and automate your Excel. Here we go. So now we're going to open up ChatGPT. ChatGPT, you can get a free account by going to chatgpt.com. You will see that I have a pro account, but I'm not going to use any pro features. I'm going to use what is just free and available to you. It's very easy. All you have to do is talk to ChatGPT just like you would talk to a person. So I'm going to help you frame up a prompt. My favorite prompt for writing VBA or Python or anything will be located down in the description. Make sure to check it out. So here we go. First, you have to tell ChatGPT how you want it to behave. So I'll tell it, act as a VBA coding expert, because that's what I want, a VBA coding expert. I need your help to clean up and analyze a data set. Plain language, you've got to love it. Then we need to tell it where the data set is located. The data set is located at, we will go back and check our workbook. Looks like our data set goes from B2 to D23. We'll go back to ChatGPT, B2 to D23. The output should be a pivot table on a new worksheet. Remove any lines from the data set that are incomplete. So what we're going to do is we're going to pull out any of those rows you saw that didn't have all of the data completed because we can't really work with those. We're also going to take the information, put it in a pivot table on another sheet so we can manipulate it and adjust it from there. Now I'm going to tell it specifically what I want it to do. So write a VBA script to accomplish this task. We'll hit enter, and ChatGPT will do its magic. Very polite, sure, with an exclamation mark. You know it's excited. The great thing about doing code from ChatGPT is it will actually give you this window that you see. That's going to make it a lot cleaner to tell what's the code and what's ChatGPT talking with you. We'll give it a few seconds just to kind of keep putting its output. Want to make sure it's done. Also very helpful, just like I'm doing right now, ChatGPT is giving you the instructions to implement it. So we're going to copy the code now that it's done. We're going to go back to our Excel, and here you're going to want to open up Visual Basic, which is on the Developer tab. So we'll go to the Developer tab on the ribbon. We'll go to Visual Basic. Once we're in here, we're going to want to create a new module. A module is just what holds the content of a macro. We're going to paste this in. We're going to make sure that ChatGPT didn't leave us anything we need to clean up. So let's start at the top. We're going to make sure that the name, yep. So anything in green is a comment, and ChatGPT wanted us to put the name of our sheet in there. Our sheet is called Data. Let's see if there's any other instructions for us. I'm happy with the name pivot table sheet. No need to change. Okay, let's run this. All right, so ChatGPT has cleaned our data set. All the missing entries are gone now. That's really cool. It's also created this great pivot table over here. We can finish this up by popping the months into the columns. We'll put the sales into the values, and we'll put the sales reps on the side. And there is our table of all of our sales by sale reps. That is the power of ChatGPT, and you can do all of that automation in just seconds. So what are some different ways that you can use ChatGPT to write VBA? Well, VBA can do, again, like I said, anything that you can do in Excel. A couple of real-world applications to consider. Automate data entry. If you have to repeatedly process data entry, you can set up a macro that will move data from one place to another or even clean up the data as it goes. You can also use it to format cells. If you have to consistently apply the same steps of cell formatting, you can do that. And you can also use it to generate reports. Now, I would recommend that you start with simple tasks and experiment from there. As you get more advanced and more comfortable with using ChatGPT to write this, you can combine macros for complex workflows. You can find bigger and better parts of your workflow to automate. Just practice with the small tasks and go from there. What are some common pitfalls that we might encounter? First of all, error messages. There's a functionality where if something is wrong in the macro, it will come back, it will give you an error message, and it will tell you to debug it. The really cool thing is you can actually ask ChatGPT to do the debug for you, right? You can go back to it, tell it, hey, that didn't quite work, I'm getting this error message, and it will take another crack at rewriting it. If the macro is not running, there's two things you want to check. First of all, you want to make sure that you saved the workbook as a macro-enabled workbook, XLSM. Second, you want to make sure that your security settings allow macros. Typically, most corporations will lock it that macros will not run automatically, and there will be a button that pops up on the top that you have to hit to say enable macros. If you're on a personal computer or if you just trust your antivirus software, you can always go to the security settings and let macros run automatically if this is something you're doing a lot. And again, if you have really, really good antivirus, wouldn't recommend it on a company-owned computer. And then, of course, lastly, unexpected results. If you get results back that just look crazy, go back to the code, make sure that all of the ranges specifically and all of the column names and row names are what you intended them to be. That's the most common reason that it will be off. So to recap, ChatGPT can help you accomplish tasks in mere seconds by writing VBA code for you. This VBA code will use the prompt that I'm going to put down in the description. Using that prompt, you can structure any number of questions because it's a broad prompt and it's just a way of thinking about loading in a code to ChatGPT. I would highly encourage you to try this out. The best way to get better at your finance and accounting skills is to practice, and every single tool I've just showed you is completely free, so there's no reason not to start today. And of course, if you found this content helpful, make sure to subscribe, like, comment, and even suggest some future topics that we can cover. I'm Mike from F9 Finance. It was a pleasure helping you out today, and I'll see you next time.